Have that same mentality in relationships. I'm not saying have one foot out the door, but have a bag ready just in case. Don't live your life where you're afraid to be in a relationship. Just don't expect that person to always be who they were in the past.
Don't drink, don't smoke, I'm a healthy chick. I like a brother getting money, kinda wealthy shit. Don't want a dummy looking bummy or a beta bitch. I need a honey who will love and give me crazy dick. All I do is think about the bag. All I do is dream about the cash. 2 steps to the motherfucking side as I glide past. If you ain't reaching for the sky, then you ride last. I'm ready for the limelight. My hands rock steady cause the time's right. Billy Bone Betty, I'm the boss type. Looking for the heavy kinda king-like. I'ma get it how I get it till my heart stop. Get it how I live it till the mic drop. Hustle for the winner when I do.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Phoenix Novell, and thank you for tuning into another episode of Boss Bitch Tips. Now, in this episode, I discuss why you shouldn't trust anyone 100%. I'm a very optimistic person. I do believe in people. I do believe in love, and I look for the best in people. However, through my years of interacting with people, intimate relationships, work relationships, friendships, family relationships, I've decided to take the rose-colored glasses off and see people for who they are, see human nature for what it is, and stop trying to make it what it's not. Because in trying to make it what it's not, I've suffered a lot. I've seen other people suffer a lot. And there's really no need for all of that. I don't like to be the bearer of bad news because, of course, I would love to be able to say I trust somebody 100% or that I think that that's a great idea. You know how much weight will be taken off of us if we could do that and not be disappointed? But the opposite is true. A lot of times we put way too much trust in people because we hope they won't disappoint us. And because we let ourselves fall into that belief, we hit our head so hard that we're afraid to fall again. So even though we say we trust my 100% or we really believe and want to, that bump on that head is still there. That pain is there. And every now and again, people rub up against it to remind you that it never really, really goes away. So the reason why I think it's necessary to experience that, and what I say is, the sooner the better. The sooner you fall, the better. Because that first fall prepares you. It prepares you to catch yourself before you let yourself go completely again and maybe lose yourself this time. I remember asking a former colleague of mine if she trusted her boyfriend. And she said implicitly. And I remember when they separated and the way it was and how distraught she was. Now, I'm not saying that not trusting somebody 100% is going to save you from pain. I'm saying that it prepares you for the possibility of disappointment. And that's what life is about. That's why we save our money, right? So that just in case something happens, I don't have to panic. I think relationships, all of them, intimate ones, familial ones, friendships and everything, they should all be, you should always have a safety net to protect yourself. You shouldn't tell anybody all of your secrets. You shouldn't trust anybody implicitly. You can love people, but there's degrees of that. You can care about people. You can trust people, but there's degrees of that. Because we don't even know ourselves 100%. Every day, we're learning something new about ourselves. And I say this because I haven't met everybody yet. And we tend to bring different things out of different people. Different people tend to bring different things out of us. Things that we might not even knew we had, right? Like, we don't all see and do everything with everybody the same way. This person could just really bring something out of me that I don't like. But this person, every time I see them, I'm calm, I'm peaceful. Why is that? because everybody touches us in different ways. Everybody's energy is different. And not trusting somebody 100% protects them and you, protects them from your expectations of perfection, of loyalty, when maybe they don't know whether or not they can promise that loyalty to you. They may want to, but are you going to kill them if and when they disappoint? I think that we set ourselves up for failure because we ruin relationships that could be salvaged if things go wrong by putting too much trust in somebody. And then when they fail us or fall, we want to just discard them completely because of how open we allowed ourselves to be, in the first place. I'm not saying you shouldn't get married. I'm not saying you shouldn't build a life with somebody. I'm just saying, how many stories have we heard? How many friends do we all have that say some shit like, oh my God, I never saw this coming. I never knew they would be that type of person. I never saw that side of them ever before. And then now look at where we are. I think the less you trust people, the less you assume you know everything about them, the less you assume you know what they will and won't do, the better for everybody, because we don't even know what we will and won't do. We think we know, but until you've been in every situation possible, which is impossible, you can't say for a fact how you'll even act. So instead of putting that pressure on them to live up to this idea because you want to fall back and lean in and hope to be, held up, they're human just like us. Instead of putting that weight on them and allowing them to put that weight on us, let's just take this shit day by day. Let them show you who they are now. And then incrementally, you can show them who you are now. You can share, but don't share with the expectation that they will never use that information against you, that they will never share what you share with them. Share because you want to share, not because you want them to have this unbreakable loyalty to you, because they don't know who they'll be tomorrow. And that's a fact for all of us. We don't even know if there will be a tomorrow. So stop counting on the idea of who you believe you are today to be the person and the version of you that shows up in the future. And if you stop doing that to yourself, then by default, you will not do that to the people that you surround yourself with. I've been hurt more times than I like to admit by myself, because I allowed myself to fly away with the expectation of things always being how they were when I first met the guy that I was with, that I'm no longer with today. Things change, people change. Sometimes they cheat, sometimes they don't. Sometimes things just don't work out. But instead of you landing in a spot where you feel like your pain is caused by this other person, put the weight on you. I'm afraid, okay, it didn't work out. I'm sad. That's it. Not I thought they would never leave me. Not I thought they would never lie to me. Not I thought they would never cheat. Even if they say they would never cheat. Even if they say they would never lie. Even if they never lied in the past. People don't always know who they're going to be tomorrow. And that's the most, I think that's the hardest thing about marriage. I never got married. I never wanted to, not for love, because I never wanted all my shit to be kind of like tied into this thing that's built on something intangible. That just didn't make no damn sense to me, right? Like, if we want to be together, I don't need anything to keep us here. Let's do this. But you can always leave. Like, that's the terms of life, right? I don't have to be here. And if I want to go, I can go at any given time. Right? So why should I be Why should I be tied into any relationship whatsoever that makes me feel like I'm stuck and I gotta work this out? Again, I'm not hating on anybody who does take the plunge, but so many people, they disappoint themselves because they fall with so much hope that the other person will always be there to catch them. And they don't anticipate the possibility of them not being. Just like you save up for a rainy day, like we've always been told to, like we know that's the right thing to do just in case. It's the same thing in relationships with family members. If they say some shit that pisses you off, your savings plan is to have your emotions in check so that they're not tied to what that other person does or says. Because just because we're blood doesn't mean that we're inseparable and that I have to tolerate everything you say and do if I don't like it. And your safety net is not assuming that they could never, because they haven't in the past. Friends, family, lovers, partners, kids. Don't believe that just because they didn't do something, they could never. Don't believe that just because they did something, they'll do it again. And don't believe that just because they say they won't, they won't. That keeps you safe. It keeps you prepared. It makes the blow less fatal if you're ready for the possibility. Tomorrow, anything could happen. Have that same mentality in relationships. I'm not saying have one foot out the door, but have a bag ready just in case. Don't live your life where you're afraid to be in a relationship. Just don't expect that person to always be who they were in the past. That in the back of your mind is going to be your saving grace. You don't know everything about them because they don't know everything about themselves. And the same applies to you. You're constantly learning, constantly absorbing, constantly changing, constantly educating and relearning shit that you thought worked, and now you realize it ain't effective no more, so we got to relearn all the way up until you die. So if you're gonna do it with a exclamation point and not a question mark. And the exclamation point is, for now, this is what I want. For now, we good. In the moment, it ain't. There is no question mark of what should I do? Oh my God, how could this be? What happened? It is just, it's not good. Let's fix it. Let's figure this out. Because if you always have it in your mind that this could always be something different, because they're constantly figuring out themselves, we're constantly adjusting, we're constantly learning and changing. We are energy interacting with each other. In all relationships you have, your energy interacting with other people's energy. So how could you ever try to hold that? It's not tangible. So don't think just because you see a person in front of you that they are who they will always be, because what you see is just the body. Their words and their mind and what they're learning and absorbing and the energy and all that shit, that is constantly forming. It's constantly changing. It is intangible. Remember that. Listen to the sweet nothings. Appreciate what's nice. Bask in the beauty of what is fabulously delicious about them. But understand that there's a possibility that also in that deliciousness, there is a bittersweet aftertaste possible at any given moment. Live your life like that when it comes to trusting people. It's nice to feel like you can trust somebody and share, but always know that there could be a bitter aftertaste that anybody, especially people who you care about, can leave on you. The more you care, the more vulnerable you are to be hurt by people. I'm not saying you can't, I'm not saying that you can completely get rid of any pain. I'm just saying when you're prepared for it, you're in a different stance. It doesn't knock you off your feet in the same way. All right. It's your girl, Phoenix Nobel. If you guys have any comments, topic ideas, or suggestions, or you just want to chat, email me at askthebawse@gmail.com or leave a comment below. Until next time, Boss Bitch Tips. I'm out.